Hi, it's been a while since I did one of my videos in my kitchen, grocery, discussing groceries that I bought and just discussing lipedema, eating issues and all that stuff. It's been, oh, I have hair that's like, doesn't know where it wants to go. It wants to go in the middle of my face and it's uncomfortable. Okay, so I haven't done one of these videos for a long time, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Um, one significant reason is just, I feel very uncomfortable on video. Um, the past several months have been very difficult, emotionally and physically, and I am very aware that, like a woman of my size and a woman with advanced lipedema, known as lipo-lymphedema, that, I'm very aware that people are very critical and judgmental, and that when I go on video, it's like, people like see my face and my body, and it's like, she's still fat, and people are very judgmental about that. It's something that my surgeon, Dr. Amron, kind of like warned me about at my last surgery in April, that it was gonna take a long time for me to see results, and that people are gonna be very critical about it. But you know, the other reason I haven't done, or the reasons I haven't done any of these videos for so long, is just having the energy. Over the past few months, I've had so much pain with my right knee that I don't often have the energy that I need anymore to like go out to the store. Obviously that's been really frustrating. I'm not that much of a homebody. I like to go out. I like to at least like run errands. This is our cat too. I like to, I want to get out, go to the Y and get in the pool and exercise and things. But it's been a hard time. And this is Sapphire. And oof, oh, excuse me, kitty. And mwah. You don't want to be held, huh? Okay, do your thing. So today I was fortunate enough, I set my alarm. I really needed to get up and take a shower before I brought Sophie to school, and incredibly I actually got it done, because what usually happens is I set the alarm and I kind of like sit there in bed for like 30 minutes and try to find the energy to actually do it, because it's tough. I have to get my legs all unwrapped out of the Velcro. I've been wearing the Velcro reduction kits again, changing the Bioflex compression pants. Compression is made to fit you tightly. It's kind of a workout getting it on and off, as it is. So, so I was very pleased that I managed to do all of that, get a shower done, and get Sophie off to school. One really nice thing about my life since having the first few lipedema removal surgeries is that I haven't gotten Sophie late to school, and Sophie hasn't missed any school other than when we had COVID in September. Or was it August? Oh, whenever it was. Maybe August. She hasn't missed any school since this, return of mine from the first 3 surgeries. And, to be honest, and it's been kind of a frustration for me in the past with preschool, kindergarten, and 1st grade. She missed school because, as a single mom who's driving my daughter to school every day and picking her up, and dealing with this chronic illness, I just had so many days where I couldn't get her to school I didn't feel well all day. So I think it's important to take note of, the good things that have happened in my life since having the lipedema surgeries, even though I'm going to be going out for another one in March, and even though the results, at like 6 months haven't been where they yet need to be, where we want them to be, there's still more improvement that can be made to, regain better mobility and have a better quality of life, which extends down to my daughter. But thankfully, among the benefits that I have felt, it's just, I've managed to be a better parent in that area, and I am proud of that because it's really big progress. Sophie missing school was like this very shameful, awkward thing for me, and her school's very kind about it. Like, they knew and they know what I'm going through, but there were like some comments about that if there were too many absences, it would have to be reported and things like that. And I'm grateful that it never did have to be reported, and that this year has been it's been an improvement. Now, speaking of energy and all of that, I've been sick. I was supposed to have an MRI for my knee. It's like this blasted MRI situation that, I keep having trouble with. I've had so much trouble with the imaging company, and I've been to 2 different locations, and I was scheduled on Friday to go to a 3rd location to finally get the MRI done of my right knee, but I ended up having to call to cancel after the whole hassle that I wrote about. I had to cancel because I was so sick. I think I had the influenza, like, I'm still sniffly and things like that, but I got sick on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Monday. I'm finally beginning to feel better, and just have the awkward voice and congestion that's going through. But all that to say, I did have enough energy to start my day out well with a shower, and I also decided to go to the store, which I don't do a whole lot of anymore either because of the knee. It is hard. I'm on diclofenac. I'm on an anti-inflammatory twice a day for the knee, which is certainly like not any type of wonder drug at all, but if I don't take it, I notice it. I don't really consider it much of a pain reliever, but it keeps some of the inflammation down, and today was manageable enough to get myself out to the store because we really, I didn't know what I was going to make, for dinner, and I've been putting it off, and I really need to go to the store. But lately, I don't do a lot of shopping in the store myself because of my knee, because of the knee pain and the energy and just exhaustion that I've been having, not feeling well. And it's been frustrating because relying on Instacart is, it comes with its own issues. Pickup orders are, if I pick up an order through Instacart, it's better. I'm still paying higher prices than in the store because it's Instacart, and that's how they work with Publix. But if I do that, they have it so that you can link your like Delta account with Instacart, and you get like some tiny little percentage of Delta miles like back for your shopping there. I think you also get like a credit for your next Instacart purchase and things like that. But when I have no energy, even driving to pick up an order is hard. And then, of course, the whole issue with having other people shop for you. Very convenient. Obviously, it's a huge luxury and gift when people, when I can use Instacart and have other people shop for me, especially with COVID, so I don't have to put myself so much at risk, especially with the lipedema and lymphedema when I am unwell, and especially with a knee. But you pay higher prices at most stores, and then you need to tip and have service fees and all of that. Like if you do the membership through Instacart, that reduces some of the fees, but it all adds up. Those of you who use it understand what I'm saying. So yeah. And I guess just another reason too with the videos, I haven't been doing a lot of videos, is just the fact that because I'm still crowdfunding for the surgeries, there's still more surgeries to be done. I have a surgery scheduled for March back in California. I still have a lot of money that I need to raise. I need to get the flight, I need to get the airline tickets, I need to pay for the private nursing. There's so much involved. I need to keep up with lymphedema appointments, and they are so expensive, and just still so much money that I need to raise. It's overwhelming. And along with that is just like obviously the struggle getting enough work done, making enough money to pay the basic necessities, and then do things like groceries. And I am very aware of a lot of criticism that happens as a result of it, like criticism, how I look, how my body looks, how bad I still am, the fact that I am crowdfunding for health needs, just the different ways that people like see that in many different lights. And it can be overwhelming thinking about, there's going to be a lot of criticism about what we eat, what we buy. Your crowdfunding, sometimes we need help with groceries. I don't always make enough income to afford that, so then there's criticism about like, well, should you be eating that? We don't really think that that's right, and it gets very weird. But as I said, and it's very long blurb because I haven't spoken on video for so long, and it's very awkward and uncomfortable, and I am a very weird, awkward person. I actually had the energy to do it, and like that thing inside me that felt like doing it despite being sick and all of that good stuff. And I thought I should take advantage of it because oddly enough, there are a few people out there who like the rambling videos. Although I don't know, with me being sick and having the weird voice, I don't know how it's going to come across. So anyway, so I'll just show you what I picked up at the store. The mission today was I need to make dinners. Breakfast and lunches are pretty simple for Sophie these days, but I need to get some food to make our dinners. I've been sick. I anticipate that Sophie's probably gonna get sick at one of these points. Bring home some bug that I catch or we both catch. So soup, is always a good thing on the menu. I try to keep some stuff in my pantry. I don't do canned soups like Progresso and stuff because of just like all the sodium and other things that I don't need. So I've had some stuff in my pantry for a while. Healthy Gourmet Kitchen, they make some good soup mixes. This is a lot like the Anderson House Foods mixes, where I'm a big fan of those because you're adding your own salt, you're adding your own fresh ingredients, but they got the instructions and this mix for you to get started. Provincial white bean, potato peak, and French green lentil. So I've got some pantry items already, like of course olive oil and tomatoes, canned tomatoes, but I needed some fresh stuff to prepare these, and also broth. So I do try to buy bone broth because of the extra nutrition. You get the extra protein, which is great. So I got some of the Imagine bone broth, chicken bone broth. This one is cool. They do add some sea salt. I'll usually, like, when they add sea salt, I'll cut things with water. But this has 9 grams of protein. It's shelf stable. I like that for preparing soup mixes. I did also get some fresh. This is in the refrigerated meat section, kind of like the butcher area. Bone broth that is no salt added at all, and it has a fresher taste. It's got more protein, 13 grams of protein. Yeah, I'm a big fan of cooking with this. If you're, I don't know what type of cooking you do. If you do gravy or something, bone broth can be great for that. You saw that I have the potato leek mix. So to prepare it, we're gonna go with the honey gold potatoes. They were buy one get one free at Publix this week. Potatoes are very controversial, right? Like, fat people eating potatoes, fat people eating carbohydrates, you know. I do try to take my guidance on how to eat for lipedema, lipedema, from the advice in the lymphedema and lipedema treatment guide. I have that on my Kindle, and you know, yeah, like, you don't want to like live on potatoes, but waxy potatoes are okay. Waxy and sweet potatoes are preferred for lipedema and lymphedema over regular old russet potatoes, and that's just like the type of lymphatic response, an inflammatory response that they create, and that's what goes behind, you know, pretty much all of my choices about what I eat, you know, why I eat certain things. My surgeon, Dr. Amron, he doesn't get like super involved in the nutrition portion of things, for a lot of reasons, but his main thing is that, look, when you're coming out of this, you know, long-term life of lipedema that has been, you know, misdiagnosed and untreated for so long, you need to hi kitty, you need to adopt a sustainable eating plan, and sustainable for a lot of people is not going to be keto. Sustainability is a big part of the research in the lymphedema and lipedema treatment nutrition guide as well. You know, what can you live with for the rest of your life? How can you make the best choices that will be good for your body without kind of like swinging on a pendulum from one extreme to another? And, you know, for me, I've always found that I feel my best when I do eat some carbs, and so I do. And you know, I've also done low carb eating and things, and just never had a successful minute on those where, you know, I ever felt good or that it was worth it. So that's what I do. That's why I have purchased potatoes for making potato soup. Of course, with, you know, making the soups, we need like some basics like parsley, and we need green onions. I also got a bag of onions. I typically buy either sweet or red onions. Red onions are more, they have a little bit extra nutrition, but it depends on what looks good at the store and what is on sale and all of that types of stuff. So today was a sweet onion day, not a red one. Red onions are great. They can be sometimes like a little bit weird and bitter, and Sophie's not always a big fan. Celery, so celery too, and organic too. I don't buy everything organic. I can't buy everything organic. It just kind of, it depends on what's on sale and what looks good at the store. I always look for the greenest and the firmest, crunchiest celery. I use celeries a lot in soups, or if I'm doing like a vegetable stir fry. Celery is one of my favorites for those. Sophie is a big fan of celery with peanut butter and like ants on a log with little raisins, so do that. And pardon me, my foot is asleep because this is just like a way too long video, and my apologies, but some of you guys are fun and you don't mind. So yeah, we got the produce. Didn't get a ton of produce today because of just where we're at with money. For making soup, I don't do a whole lot of dairy, but if I cook, I usually get the grass-fed half and half. If I get Sophie milk, I try to get her the grass-fed. It's more expensive, but the half and half is obviously cheaper than cream, and our grocery stores don't have grass-fed cream. If I wanted grass-fed cream, I'd have to like get it online, and you know that's very expensive. Milk and dairy, they're not like hugely recommended for lipedema, even lymphedema, but especially lipedema. However, there's a caveat in the research that grass-fed dairy doesn't produce such an inflammatory response. So if you're gonna cook with some, go ahead and go with the grass-fed dairy. That's the idea. And the rest of the dairy that you consume, it's better if it is fermented. So kefir, plain yogurt, those are the other two dairy things that I use when I use dairy. Otherwise, for milk products, I typically do macadamia nut milk, which is shelf stable, but I do have to order that online, which is a pain. But for making some of the soups, if we want to add sausage, we often do this chicken sausage from Publix Greenwise. It's like mild Italian chicken sausage with kale. We take it out of the casings and crumble it up and stick it in the soups. It would be good with eggs for a scramble, things like that. And let's see, since I have been sick, this is like my, I don't know, my guilty pleasure. I don't buy a lot of soda. If I would buy soda, I would get something like Zevia. Everything is so expensive in the stores right now, including soda. But when I'm sick, nothing really compares to Verner's zero sugar ginger ale. I know it's like chemicals, not the best stuff for you. I don't know what to say. I love it. I think, you know, in moderation, I'm not gonna suffer terribly, but if it gets more fluids in my system when I'm sick and it just makes me feel better, I will go with it. And yeah, but I was surprised because I don't buy soda very often. I looked up the prices on Instacart today. A 12-pack of cans of Verner's giant ginger ale was like almost $12. It was over $11. I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. No Verner's for this illness. And then when I went to the store, it was tagged. The 2 liters were tagged 2 for $5, and I'm like, oh, that's still really expensive for soda, but it's better than, you know, also in Instacart, I think it was like $3.50 or almost $4 for 1 2-liter. So I got the 2 liters for $5, but I did have to go to customer service to get it adjusted because it didn't ring up. It rang up as like $3. So fun times at Publix. We've recently gotten a lot of apples. Sophie is a big fan of apples. She went to an apple farm with her school on a field trip recently, and her Nana brought back some apples. So I told Sophie that we could make apple crisp, which is something I don't think she's had before. So I did go ahead and pick up some oats today so that we can make the apple crisp. Again, I know it's like food issues are so loaded with lipedema and with being a fat woman, that there's a lot of like, oh no, like a lot of pressure and feelings like don't eat apples, don't eat the fruit sugar, don't eat oats, don't eat, you know, and all of this. But oats are actually, again, with lipedema research in the lymphedema and lipedema nutrition guide, oats are very much recommended. High fiber, like, so oats, beans, of course, you know, veggies, certain fruits, even oranges or citrus fruits and bananas are highly recommended. Just the way that they affect the body, the way they work with our inflammatory response, the way that they work with a low mucus production, a low lymphatic production, or improving lymphatic production. Those are all things that get taken into account. And so then again, it's just kind of finding the balance of like what works for you, what works for your lifestyle. It's certainly something that I'm still like figuring out as we go, but you know, doing my best. And I'm happy to, you know, I told Sophie we can do it after school. We're gonna make apple crisp, and it's gluten-free, which is probably the #1 request that Dr. Amron, as a surgeon, has of his patients for lipedema, is that we would at the very least adopt a gluten-free lifestyle, just because the research is very strong that gluten creates a larger inflammatory response, and it creates like more lymphatic fluid, which is definitely not what we need. My cat just brought me one of her toys. It's really cute. So this is very sweet. My cat just brought me her potato chip bag. Speaking of carbohydrates, you want me to throw it? There you go. So that was very cute. And then finally, I promise there's just a couple more things. Speaking of carbohydrates and speaking of gluten and all of that. Come here. Yeah, let me throw it. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll throw it. Here you go. Okay. So I have to get Sophie some things. Picked up Sophie some breakfast biscuits. I'm going to say that these are comparable to something like Belvita. Not Velveeta, but Belvita. The breakfast cookie things. And these are gluten-free by Goody Girl. Picked her up a pack of the cinnamon brown sugar and the blueberry. And my cat, whenever I talk like on the phone, she wants to be involved. So I'm pretty sure she wants to be involved right now. So if you hear everything, or you hear like a cat jumping on a table, that's what's happening. Oh, you dropped your toy. So we did that, and then for a treat, occasional treat, I did get Sophie, and yeah, I'll have like 1 or 2 from time to time. We picked up some s'mores, Goody Girl cookies, s'mores flavored, gluten free. I think Okay, so the only thing I'm not like super excited is that they contain a little bit of soy, but it's a very, very small like soy less, a small amount there. Little in tiny bits and doses, I think will survive. And then because it is soup season, I picked up crackers. We're out of our gluten-free crackers. Oat version. This one is more of like a nut and seed flour blend, and this one is like a cauliflower blend that's a little bit comparable to Cheez-Its. We'll see how that goes, but that today was the extent of the grocery shopping. I hope that that's a little bit informational or educational for some folks who are learning about lipedema or want to learn more. Some people do really well with ketogenic lifestyles or low carb lifestyles, paleo, things like that. I find, as far as like how I feel and my energy and things like that, the jury is still out on all of the rest, but so far, trying to eat in a balanced way that includes some carbohydrates like fruits, veggies, beans, oats, things like that, with like occasional packaged treats like the gluten-free cookie. Those things do well. The big thing for me is just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because of my history with lipedema, it's very easy to not eat, and kind of go from extremes where like you're eating nothing and then you have like a binge episode and you eat like way too much, or you eat just like the wrong types of foods, meaning like foods that you don't feel good after eating, just whether it's like that those foods are cheaper, that they're easily accessible, things like that. So this is just one little grocery stop that I did to stock up on ingredients to prepare soups for the week and have some quality food around. One of these days I'll do a video with some recipes and maybe some like from scratch recipe, like soup recipes, different things, or like adding different veggies and things to certain soup mixes, but we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow I am supposed to have my MRI, and fingers crossed that all goes well. Fingers crossed that I'll get some good information and that we'll get some answers, and if I need to get like a quick surgery for that, like I am all for that, because I want to be able to function like a normal human being with my knee. But yes, longest video known to man about groceries and just catching up with people. I'm sorry that I haven't been good about doing videos or even publishing on a regular schedule. Just the way that all of this has gone, with the number of like therapy sessions that I've had to do, just like funny things, keeping up with pumping, using the lymphopress, keeping up with my lovely like supplements. Like I take Mucinex every single day for my lipedema, using the, oh my gosh, what's it called? The vibration plate, doing exercises at home, deep breathing, all these different things, like trying to give my lymphatic system the best chance it has without, going on to, difficult, crazy eating plans that just inspire pendulum swings. It's hard. It's just, finding balance is hard. And my cat is trying to eat the parsley. So I will say goodbye. And my kitty is very funny. Come here. Do you want to say goodbye to people, or are you too wild? I think you might be too wild. If I try to pick up this cat, she's going to bite me because she's like already just very chompy. So maybe we'll do a cat video at another time too. For anyone who's actually made it through the whole video, thank you. I never know how to say goodbye. It's really silly. Goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will be in touch with everything else that happens, and I will speak to many of you soon. Bye. Thank you for all of your support.